Hi! Hello, my baby ducklings, friends. Welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm super hyped up and really energetic because I just had a bunch of coffee. I went out for lunch with a good friend of mine, and another good friend of mine gave me like free salad and chips from this conference. Basically, the faculty members just didn't want to eat salad, and we were like the two vegetarian bitches in the building, so I'm like, yes! And then the thing wrapped in the blue napkin is just a chocolate chip cookie. We can have nice things as a treat. That same friend also just taught me how to roll up my pant legs like so and achieve the ultimate aesthetic. I would add it's the ultimate gay aesthetic. Other new things that you've probably noticed about me since my last vlog, obviously. New glasses! Yes! No, I know you're all staring at the nose ring. It's fake. It's not a piercing. I've had a fake septum ring before, during my first year of college, when I was still phasing out of the goth. There's really no such thing as phasing out of the goth. So, yes, these glasses. Because I'm already kind of blind, and I was going even more blind, so I had to finally, after 3 or 4 years, get my eyes checked again. And the thing is, they didn't sell my old frame anymore, so I couldn't just get the lenses replaced and popped back in because there would be no warranty or replacement policy covering it. So it's like, okay, maybe this is a good chance to like see what's out there, change up my style, and what do you know, I picked something totally different. To be honest, the thing that pleases me most about these is that they're actually Ray-Bans. I got them 50% off at Lens Crafters, both the lens and the frame. It was a designer sale that was going on. And since I have a really crappy vision insurance policy, I was way better off going with the 50% sale. So that's what I did. Basically, you can see the lenses have a softer curve to them around the bottom. They're slightly wider. These are actually men's. I believe they're unisex, but I bought them from the men's section. So my gay trans soul was just like super excited about it. And they're really sturdy. I like them. The lenses are a fraction bigger than the old ones, and I think they suit my face a little bit better just because the old ones, yeah, they were really bold and they were really rectangular, but because they were a bit narrower, I felt like sometimes I was wearing like evil scientist glasses from some Cartoon Network show. The main reason we're vlogging today is because something else very wonderful happened today, which is my letter from Daisy, who lives all the way in the UK, finally arrived over the weekend, and I just checked my mailbox and picked it up. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rip it open like hooligans, and we're gonna read it, and let's see what she says. Oh, that looks pretty. I can already tell that there's a drawing on the back. Oh wow, look, there's a drawing on the back. It's so long. Can we just take a moment to just appreciate that? Look at that border. This is like better than any store-bought stationery I've ever seen. Like, you know, you just turned lined paper into something super aesthetic. I respect that. So this was written on the 15th of December 2019, so way to go Royal Mail and USPS for bringing out the Express and Pony Express. So here's what she said. Caleb, I'm writing by hand mostly because the rush of holding something created by the hands of someone you've never met in such a tangible way is a feeling I know well. Aren't letters strange, though? In a way, they seem to have become almost too antiquated in a technological age to remain relevant, and yet the permanence of the physical gesture of filling a page with words and crossings out, waiting for it to cross the Atlantic in the way that I keep longing to do myself, seems to hold a place in the heart of humanity beyond convenience. I can understand that. Just for reference, my friend Daisy is 15 years old, and she's one of the most well-respected authors on Archive of Her Own in the Marvel fandom, so I guess I picked my friends really well. She's so eloquent. As well as the fact that you can wax poetic on paper and sound considerably less pretentious than in a text. You know I love to be fancy, and that's the best half of a page filled. I mean, hi, 'tis me, Daisy, busting out my best handwriting. Don't even ask about my worst. Yes, it's all my maths notebook. Big surprise. In that physical gesture of human connection that I mentioned earlier. At the time I'm writing this, there is a strangely proportioned Christmas tree behind my desk, radiant in its ugliness, and I'm reminded that we've known each other for just over a year now. I've changed so bloody much, oh man. I think I messed that up. I don't think that Brits actually say it in the exact same intonation that I did. We're just rapidly moving on. I reckon we both have, although I've realized it's a little harder to track growth and change in others through the barriers of social media. Whatever, I'm just glad to have met you in the first place. No, that's true, we have changed. And by change, I mean we have grown. a lot. I think that maybe when you're a teenager, you feel the growth from year to year more than when you're in your 20s, like me, but I would definitely say if I were to look back honestly on myself and everything that happened in the last year, when I say last year, 2019, yeah, I can probably say that there's been some growth, so yes. This is random, but I keep coming back to this one time you called me. It was back in March, and we were getting ready to do a tech rehearsal for Peter Pan. It was our first time in the theater and everything, and I can't even remember why you called, but it was something bad. And I spent a while just wandering around the theater and rambling to you about the show and comforting you, and eventually we just chatted while I got some props ready. Once you'd talked to me, I sort of felt like a small part of you was in that space, or even in me. Certainly I began to understand the longing for something to curl over and protect, as one Iron Dad fic articulated so well. The thing I was protecting was you. And then I swear I morphed into a complete mom then and there. I powdered people's faces and fixed their hair, found stuff for people they couldn't find. Yeah, that was a weird and cryptic tangent. I hope it made some sort of sense. Yeah, I actually do know exactly what you're trying to articulate. Seeing as this letter is more permanent than a text could ever hope to be, I want these words to be a source of comfort, a reminder of my love, words you can soak up and return to for a spark amid darkness. First of all, I hope your Christmas was magical. Jesus has come again to bring us all joy, humbleness. Wait, is humbleness a word? It's humility, but that's okay. Humbleness is completely understandable. And rebirth. And I hope that shows through during your holidays. Please don't get stressed over giving presents. I'm a huge victim of that, and it's not worth it. Your love is more precious than any material thing. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I had trouble, getting money to send people stuff. Happy 24th birthday. I can't believe you would forget it. Lamau. Remember not to get too Tony-ish about it. In Iron Man 2, he says, "Why would anyone want to celebrate my birth?" or something along those lines.
Why celebrate my birth?
My heart hurts. And I'm praying this next year will bring you an abundance of something, opportunities, anxiety, depression, and binge-free times, and positive change, all of which you totally deserve. Thank you. When I first came to know you, Caleb, you were my writing hero, and I never could have dreamed that you'd become even more. You are my voice of reason. You're the friend always at the sidelines, ready to pick up the phone or give stellar advice or simply to listen, and that is worth so much. You have incredible faith in God through the toughest circumstances, like no one I've ever met. One of the few things that makes me feel genuinely angry is hearing what life has handed you, and yet you shoulder it every day. Thank you. Know that despite what your dad might have said, and no matter what the hell you do, I love you and will never walk away. The best thing would be to be able to meet you with my own eyes. Yeah, let's just meet each other with our own eyes. I'm sorry. We've discussed this where emotions are not necessarily on opposites of a spectrum, but you can just be high in emotions and go 1 minute from laughing to crying, and I'm just laughing really hysterically right now because I'm about to cry. The best thing would be to be able to meet you with my own eyes, and I will wait for that day for decades if that's what it takes. But we've been granted this, and I'll take it because you are amazing. There's an underline on that. You are indescribable. You're the clusters of stars that appear in that exciting, overeager way just before darkness falls. I don't even know. If you could call this a love poem between friends, that's exactly what it would be. I hope, if anything, that some of these next words are useful or meaningful to you. I'm just gonna mash stuff in, if that's alright. Sometimes, although people will go on about perfection, the best thing about people is how dumb and how chaotic they are. A couple of days ago, I walked through my school corridors with annoyance at how inconvenient all the kids were as they bounced around, but then pictured them all lining up silently. Suddenly, I was very grateful. Did that kid just scream randomly? Yes, that's stupid and crazy, and something trained out of adults until they all walk soberly and silently, and something we should keep forever. Don't feel you need to be everything, especially on your worst days. Start by just being one thing, and it'll be something. That hits hard. Let's read it again. Don't feel you need to be everything, especially on your worst days. Start by just being one thing, and it'll be something. Yeah, that's a new thing for me to remember. There's a part here that has to do with eating disorders, because I confide in Daisy a lot about my struggles with that, so I just read that to myself. I don't feel ready publicizing it in video right now, but she said a lot of really encouraging and helpful things. And I'm going to keep this letter so that when the time comes that I actually make a video about that topic, you can all learn from the things that she said as well. Well, there are only so many words I can spew onto a page before it all becomes convoluted. It has been a joy to be your friend as well as co-author with you, and I hope that all of that will continue into the future, maybe with even more possibilities. I'm still holding out hope that we'll meet in real life, where and whenever that might be. Sending infinite love across the Atlantic with a metallic marker. I hope the print stays clear. And she put in parentheses, I tried to do a thumbprint with metallic ink. So, there it is. Doesn't show up very well on camera, but it is indeed a thumbprint. Thanks, now I can steal your identity. Doisy the Destroyer. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Isn't this just so pretty? It's just vines, fairy lights. They're very, very aesthetic doodles. Thank you so much, Daisy. She and I met through the Marvel fandom. We are both Iron Dad and Spider-Son fanfiction authors on Archive of Our Own. I will link our accounts down below in the description box. And as she mentioned, we did co-author a fic that had to do with grieving Peter being adopted by Tony Stark. And that was one big project that we did together, and I felt like that really brought us close together. We have a lot in common, not just writing and our love for poetry and music, but I just feel like we exist on a very similar or identical brain wavelength, just from slightly different generations. Like, I'm constantly like acting like the big brother to her, but we make this joke about how she's about a foot taller than I am, and so when we finally meet, and I just like stand up on a crate to reach up and pinch her cheeks because she's so cute, it's gonna be like tiny dad and tall daughter. I just have no words, except that there's a lot here that was said that I'm gonna take a couple of days to digest and always remember. Most especially what she said about don't try to be everything on your worst days. Try to be one thing, and then that's going to turn into something. Thank you so much for the message, Daisy. I love you. I love you so much. I'm teaching her a little bit of ASL whenever I go, so I'm just going to be like, shout out. Hi, Daisy. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm gonna see you all in the next vlog. It's gonna have to do with me being a trans guy and how I pitch my voice downward in different registers depending on the language that I speak. So keep a lookout for that vlog. Thank you very much, and I love you all. Ciao, ciao. Bye.